And the method for soap making is where you use a soap base and you convert it into soap. So you can make decorative soap, you can do nice scented soaps, you can do anything you want with it. So that's how we're going to start today. All right. And we're going to go like that. Now, so I will show you now the equipment we're going to be using and the ingredients we're going to be working with. All right. So let me just adjust my camera because you're not yet to see me, you get to see what I'm doing, right? So let's just adjust this. I don't understand why it's blurry. Is it blurry? Are you all seeing clear? All right. So here we are. So these are molds. Molds we're going to be using. It's the festive season, so we'll do festive things. Right, so these are molds we'll be using here. You need spatulas. Hi, Natalie.
Hi, Miss. Excuse.
Yes,
You need to take off the blue background so we can see clearly.
Oh, I have a blue background. Thank you so much, dear heart.
You're most
Because
welcome.
I'm wondering what's going on. You know, I'm not so techy. So do I have to go in? What I have to go in? Tools? React? AI? More? What do I have to go in to take that off? Help me there.
Chuyển phone.
No, she on the screen. Let me see. No, this was the person on the phone. Talk to her. On this side, we'll see all of our equipment. Here we have, we're going to be using, because we're using microwave, we're going to be using Pyrex jugs. So we're using Pyrex jugs, and we will be mixing some colors in plastic cups. All right, molds. And we're going to be doing several because it's Christmas. We're going to be focusing on Christmas things. And we're going to be using a cutting board. Or most of these things you already have in your home. A cutter. If you don't have a decorative cutter, you can use a normal cutter. Or if you don't have a cutter at all, and you can use just a serrated edge knife. You know, just it has this pattern on the edge. That will be fine. All right, so that you don't have to expense yourself. And sometimes the thing when you put it in the microwave, it gets a little hot. So you just want something to hold it with if you need to. And we're going to be using spatulas and spoons, measuring spoons. All right. And on this side now, we're going to be using these ingredients. So we have soap base, we have clear soap base and white soap base. Clear and white soap base, right? There, good. Then we have fragrances. We'll be using essential oils as well as fragrance oils. And then we're going to be using colors. All the colors we're going to be using are in the form of mica or pigments. So we have pigment color, and then everything else are mica colors. If you notice the difference between the pigment and the mica is that the mica has a shimmer, the pigment is a matte. It doesn't have a shimmer. All right, so we'll be using all colors. Sparkle. All right, we're also going to be using rubbing alcohol, 70% plus rubbing alcohol and castor oil. So you can say castor oil, but normal castor oil that you get in your pharmacy with this at home, right, in your area. All right. And we're also going to be using some glitter. These are skin safe glitter. All right. Only skin safe glitter you'd want to use because remember you're making soaps. This is something you're going to bathe with. So you want skin safe glitter. The way we will proceed is that if you have a question, you'll keep your question. And when there's a question segment, which there will be several, you will ask your questions then, and I will answer you. Is that fair enough? All right. So we're going to begin them. If you have any question before we start, you can unmute your mic and ask. Anybody has any questions?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Would we
Sorry
be getting
about-
the list of what, would we be getting the list of what you just spoke about?
Getting the list.
utensils,
All right,
something like that.
Mohammed, are you listening?
Yes, Ms. Cummins,
Can I get a list to you and you get it to them?
not
Would
a
that be
problem.
possible? Okay, yes, well, sure, you will get a list. I will send it to Miss Mohammed after the session. And the list of equipment and the list of ingredients, and she will get them to you. All right?
Thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? All right,
Hi,
so
Miss.
morning,
Good
Miss.
morning.
good morning there.
Where can we get the soap base from, if you don't
All
mind telling us?
I purchase all my items from the Crafter's Choice. That is capital D, Crafter's Choice. But then there are several suppliers. You have people like Valley Blossom. I will send you a list of that as well, too, for you.
Okay, Miss.
But
That
I
would
only
help.
purchase from the Crafter's Choice, and the reason for that is because she is very inexpensive with her pricing. Everybody else is always priced higher than her, and she's been very ethical in her dealings, and so her materials always good. I never have any problems with them, so I usually purchase my stuff from her.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Mrs. That store in Port of Spain?
No, that is in Tunapuna, Mingo Road. But you'll get the details after. So you'll get the names and the numbers, and you can choose where you'd like to shop. Okay?
Okay, Miss.
All right. Any other question?
One of us will be getting the video recordings after class.
Well, you'll have to talk to Miss Mohammed about that. I am not able to make that call. Right.
Hi, regarding recording, you may get it today or tomorrow, okay?
Okay, great, thank you.
All right. So we ready now? So any other questions you have, don't try to ask the questions when I'm in the middle of stuff. What I have to point out to you though, like I said, it's a short class and it's just a few sessions and so on. And so one of the things that we're not supposed to do, we're going to be doing in the essence of time. And that is soap base is a glycerin product. Right? So this white one is made the same way like this clear one is made with glycerin as a surfactant, a solvent, and that's what make it remeltable. So in other words, you use oils and you use alkali, but then you add some glycerin in it and you add some alcohol in it and you add something sugary in it to make it remeltable. And that's why you call it melt and pour soup, because that's what we're going to be doing, as you would see. The white one has one added ingredient in it, and that is titanium dioxide. So all are made clear, and then other things are added to them to change them up a bit. So you will see that when you go by your suppliers, you might hear about oat, melt and pour soup, and aloe vera melt and pour soup, and different kinds of, a whole lot of melt and pour soup, about 7, 8 different types of melt and pour soup, shea butter, different things. And all of that is still made with glycerin, but these ingredients are added to some portion to them to change them a bit, right? Or to enhance them, as the case might be. So what happens is this weather, right now, I don't know if where you are is raining, but right now it's raining by me. So when I make the soap, it's going to be sweating. So it's going to form beads of water on it very quickly. And that is because glycerin is what you call a humectant. If any of you ever bought a cream or a lotion and use it on your skin, and just seconds after you apply it to your skin, you find your skin feeling wet in the area that you applied the cream or the lotion, that is what the humectant does. It draws moisture onto itself. So when you buy a product and it says it's a moisturizing cream or a moisturizing product, that is because it has a humectant in it. And what the humectant does is that it draws water from the atmosphere onto the skin. So that's why your skin looks nice and moist and you don't look dry and choppy when you buy these products. But the same thing will happen to your soap because of the glycerin, which is a humectant in these soaps. It's going to draw that water from the moisture and the soap is going to be wet. All right, some soaps are more sweaty than some. The titanium dioxide keeps the white one a little less sweaty, but the clear one tend to take a lot of water, right? So what we have to do to avoid that is to package it as soon as it comes out of the mold, so that you don't have that situation to treat with. All right, as soon as it comes out of the mold, and if you can halfway cover the mold when you put it to set. Now, what I am going to be doing that we're not supposed to do at all in the essence of time is to put it in the deep freeze to set quickly. Because I want you to see the finished product. But you at home, when you're doing it, you're not, absolutely not under any circumstances supposed to put your soap in the fridge or the freezer to set. That I'm gonna pass. All right? It's a no, 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 because that will make you soap sweat really bad. All right? But I will be doing that today, and as I explained, only in the essence of time, so that you can see the finished product. Are we clear on that? I trust that you all understand this, and understand this is only because of the situation. All right? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right, so we're going to start now without any further ado. So we're going to be using a microwave today. If you don't have a microwave or you don't like microwave, certainly you can use a double boiler system. And a double boiler system is simply a pot. So if you take a pot and you can put it up to this high with water in it, right? And then you put your soap, you put the water in the pot, you put that on the stove top, and then you put your soap in here, and it would be advisable to put something, you can just put a kitchen towel, or their mats, silicone mats that they sell now, so that the mug is not on the direct heat from the pot. And then you put your soap in here and you put it there, and this is a double boiler system. All right, so if you're using your stovetop, this is how you will do it. But we're doing the microwave system because it's faster, and the microwave heats everything. It heats the whole mug, so it keeps your soap fluid for longer, unlike a double boiler system. Because the stove will heat the bottom, but the top wouldn't be as hot as readily, but both of them efficient. If you don't have a time issue, which you don't at your own home, then you can do this. But for you to get the most out of this class, we're using time-saving items. All right. So without further ado, we'll start. All right. So let me bring it down now, so you can see what's going to happen here. All right. So we're going to make some little Christmas trees. Right? This mold, this was bought in a variety store. So you can get these locally available. This was $25 in Free and Square. So if any of you live in Central or have access to Central, this is where I bought this mold, $25. So you can buy it. These, however, these were all of these, and I have several of these. These were brought in many years ago. So I'm not sure where to tell you to get those, but I brought them online. Right, so we're going to start by making all right, so we're going to take some white, so be and we're just going to cut it up. If you smallly cut it up, it's fast, it will melt in the microwave. All right, we're not going to use all of them. Just want to make a few. Right. Cutting it up small as possible. And take as little time as possible. Now to this, I'm going to put it in a mug now. Now, using, as I told you before, castor oil. The function of castor oil in your melting pot soap is to enhance your bubbles. So I'm sure you understand about bubbles because sometimes, you know, you have big bubbles, sometimes you have nice little fluffy bubbles, sometimes you have sparse bubbles, and so on. So this enhances your bubbles. This is the soap base, and by itself is soapy, but when you add a little castor oil to it, make it a lot more soapy. Castor oil, however, you cannot use much because if you use too much, then it makes your soap rubbery and not as it should be. And you want to avoid that. You want a nice soap that when you come out of the bathroom, you're just feeling nice and clean and moist and so on. All right, so I'm just going to put 1 drop of castor oil. For your purposes, you could, if you're using a pound of soap base, you only need to use 3 drops. 3 drops of castor oil per pound of soap base. This is what you're going to do. All right. So, in the meantime, I'll just take a mug and I'll add some mica to it. So we can do pigment instead. We're just going to add a little bit of pigment in here. Now, the good thing about pigment, it doesn't have the shimmer like mica does, and it tends to make it stuff look like it has texture in it because pigment may not dissolve completely. You can take it out and stir it. Take it out and give it a stir. No, put it back. Let's see. All right, so what I'll do to this, notice I just put a little bit. Now you don't want to put a whole lot. Treat pigment and mica like how you will treat salt. You know, when you're cooking, you add the salt incrementally to your meal, your dish. The same way you want to treat color and fragrance. We have a little something inside here. See it there? All right, sorry about that. So what I'm going to do with this is just add a little rubbing alcohol to it. No, just stay there. Don't put it in. All right, and mix it. You see you getting your color there. And then we're going to add the soap to it. Now, the thing about the differences in the soap is that if you're using white soap base, your colors will always be just no. I like so much color inside there. If you're using white soap base, your color will always be lighter. If you're using clear soap base, your color will always be more vivid. Right? You see how a little bit goes a long way? So you don't require a lot. And I'm just gonna put it on the tree. And because it's soap, it might leave a little bubble on the top. Let me see it breaking here. So you can see. So just take your rubbing alcohol, that's one of the function of it, and just give it a squirt, and that gets rid of the bubble on the top. All right. All right, so while we wait for that to set up, it's not going to take long. We'll do some clear soap base. All right. Add a little color on my hand. Well, really, ideally is to wash my hand, but that's okay. Like butter in the back right now. Look at that one. Use the red finger. The red stuffy thing. And clean that red thing right there. The red scrubby. All right, so we're gonna melt some clear with these now. What I'll do is there. So what I'll do is get another mug and I'll put a same bit of that same pigment in the mug just to show you the difference you get with the color as if when you use clear as opposed to using the white. So now you can see the difference for yourself. So you understand when you, according to what you want to get, what you have to use. All right? I'm just waiting for the soap to melt. Okay, so this almost finished setup. So we can put it in the, so this is it here, one little tree. All right, so I can put it in the freezer with the setup really quickly. It's almost there, but I'll just put it in the freezer for a short time. I'll put it on this tray. So I'll put it on something flat, so it will just stay flat and solid. While I so I will make some Christmas tree, and then we will decorate it with this new set here. All right, but I just, this is just a tad again, just a tiny bit, just so I can demonstrate the difference. Almost there. So this is our clear soap. You notice it just has a little bit there. But I'm not worrying with that right now. I'm just clearing off some. So just drop in here. All right, so this is plenty. I didn't make as much mess as I did the last time. Thank goodness. Right? And then just right, so this is what it looks like. And I'm going to pour it from here. I just want to put a drop of castor oil in this too. And I'm going to pour it from here. So you'll see it right here. One tree. Going to give it a little flip. Right. Oh, so while we're waiting, we will set up this mold here. I want to set it up on this tray so I can take it and put it in the freezer. One second. So I set up the mold on this tray. So you all will be able to see it. And I'm pouring some of this. I'm just gonna put this one drop of castor oil in this one mix here. And give it a stir. Stirring this could melt that little piece we have there. Not having to carry it back. Because the glass remains very hot. Right? So I'm going to pour. I'm going to scent this. All right. Now, the thing is, you don't need a lot of scent to go into your product. Just a little bit. But I know some of you really like loud scents. But if you do, just be careful. Because if you're using clear, too much of fragrance will make it cloudy. So you don't want to do that, right? Okay. And you just, like I said, when I say to add scent and color, like how you do salt, that's what I mean. You add a little bit at a time, and then you smell and see if that's what you want. And yeah, this is a really loud scent. This one is black cherry bomb, and it's a lovely, lovely, lovely scent. And it's loud. So if you like loud, you would like black cherry bomb. My assistant is going, She finds it's really awesome and loud. So I'm just going to pour a tad just right here. It's just a tiny bit, just to cover the base. So if you see in there, it's just to cover the base. Right? Are you seeing that in the middle? Right there? It's just a little covering. It's not much. All right? So I pour that in there. Take it out now. Take out the one. Yeah, take out the one that's put in there. All right. And we're going to just leave it to set up. This one, no, the one I'm going to do. This one. All right. So remember, you're not supposed to do this. All right, but I did that because we won this one time. And here we have a little Christmas tree. See how cute? Can do that, use that. You're gonna just put this one on. You're gonna try to moving this now like that is going to be a challenge. So that's why you need the flat thing. All right, but I'm going to just put it in the freezer. Back to. So we have this here. So what we can do with this now is we can just give ourselves some space, right? So we have that little clear piece there, and this is starting to harden up. Just put this one back in the microwave, just for just a minute, put this on high, so you have to be extra careful now. You know, the back, I just put it on a little thing, just to soften it back up. So you're just gonna soften that back up. And we will see which you in a shoot. This one, right, so this one is setting up. And what I did earlier, very piece of it. It was on the paper. So it. All right, so you can take a napkin. This is part of a napkin. So you can take any decorative napkin. You take off the other part. When you, in napkins, they come. You'll see a napkin part. They're not ready. You're there. But by the bottle, water bottle, right above, behind, right. Yes. That is a napkin. So this is a napkin, a decorative one. And if you look at it, you will see behind here is a layer by itself. I don't want to separate this one, right? And then the front is this one. So the same thing with this here. So what I did was separate the white layer from this, and then I'm cutting off a piece because I'm not finding the piece that I did cut off already. I cut off a piece and I wrote Merry Christmas on it to use, but I don't know where it is now. Okay, I found it. Yes. Thank you. All right, so we found it. So this is it here. A little piece with Merry Christmas on it. I wrote that on. So we're going to just put it here onto that part that we just, before I do that, another thing we have to do with rubbing alcohol is to, because this has dried too much already, we're gonna have to just wet it with rubbing alcohol. And I'll probably have to give it a little scarring. Where's the knife with the serrated edge? Right, it's right here. And I'm just gonna give it a little scarring to get it to hold together. All right, I'll wet this. Now, you don't need to worry too much about the rubbing alcohol. It's not going to be in your soup because it's going to vaporize. It's menthol and it's going to evaporate. So I hope it don't smudge too much. All right, that looks like it should be ready. I'm not sure if this was the right, so I'm just gonna we're just gonna pour that there. Right, so just a little, another thin layer, just like we had before. And then we're going back to our green. No, we need to put it in the Pyrex. And we put it in the microwave. So if it take it out. The very little soften in the microwave, not plenty. Because it's plastic and it may be able to stay in the microwave. Right, so we just this is cool now. That's everything. Right, and then we're gonna do another. Let's see. Hold one side for me. Add more. All right, so we'll use this one. I'll just put this here. I'll just put the thin layer. Now, silicone molds, you don't need to grease or anything. If you're using polycarbonate molds, long time I used to use polycarbonate molds. And those you had to grease in order to get your soap out readily. So we just let this set up a tiny bit. Brush it. Just all of it. Yeah. All right. So I just want to put some fragrance in this, but I have to let it cool down a bit. Now, if you use an essential oil, you have to let your temperature come way down to like 120 degrees Fahrenheit or below. So a thermometer is important. Right? I use a thermometer like this, but you don't have to expense yourself. If you're just doing this for Christmas, for the holiday, then you don't need you don't need a thermometer like this. All right, you can use a thermometer like this. It's called a candy thermometer or candle thermometer, and it's about $60 for one. This is an infrared thermometer, and this is much more expensive. So you don't really need to expense yourself with this if you're just going to do some things now for the holiday. But many of us we are accustomed with temperature because we cook and stuff. Oh, Merry Christmas gets smudged. I'm seeing it. We cook and stuff, so sometimes you can just test something on your hand here, or when you hold the container, you would know if it's too hot, you know, like that. So it would kind of give you a guide if you don't want to expense yourself with the thermometer as well. All right. But you have to watch the soup. So like how we have this here, we have to keep an eye on it to see if now layers will form. It will start to harden and stuff, and it will form a layer. But underneath the layer, so like right now, there's a thin layer here, but underneath the layer, the soap is still soft, it's still fluid. So if your pour is too hot, then it will penetrate and go straight into that and smudge everything. All right, so you want to be careful about that. My Merry Christmas already smudged because the ink has already smudged. All right, so now I'm going to just put this one here now, where we just put the light clear. But all we have in here is just the clear soap. Right, so we're going to now use some rubbing alcohol there and on the Christmas tree. And we're going to put that in there. All right, and we're going to now melt some white soup. Right, while we wait for this to cool a bit. Just to cool up a bit. I believe we need white soup for that too. All right, so give me that one. Is it dry? Yes. Yes. Okay. You see, I'm here. That's all. One drop of castor oil I'm putting in this. I'm going to put it in the microwave. You want the freezer ready. Have anything in the freezer? Yes, it does. Just check. Just see. Just flex it and see if it flexes. All right. Okay. So we have our Christmas tree, our Christmas trees. I'll just rest it on top here. For the time, I'll show you to you just now. Right? The melty white one, melty white one from both English. So we take this out, and this is another Christmas tree we have. It's a little different to the first one in design. So this one is with the spots there, with the those, and this one is like this. But we can decorate this one to make it look like that. I'm gonna do that. It's a little warm still underneath. Of the thing. And we're not ready yet. So waiting, just waiting to get some white. Just 1 second. We wait with it. Oh, that was to show you the difference. Look, you see the difference here in the green? This is the clear one, and this is the white one. Remember the white soap base and the clear soap base? You notice how green this is and how more pastel-y that one is. That is what I wanted you to see by using the tiny bit of green and doing the different ones. So anytime you want a really vivid color, you need to put it with clear soap base. And if you want a pastel-y color, then you need to put it with white. Put it. Right. Yeah, just very short. So I just want to cool this down. I'm not using thermometer because I want you to see that you can do it without thermometer as well. You can just gauge your temperature. Look in there. So is it ready? No, it's not ready. One little short line. And leave it in there. Won't get exposed to the air. All right. So I'm going to put a thin layer. I want to put some fragrance in this. So it's only same fragrances because it's the same soup. Cherry, black cherry bomb. Black cherry. You changed your name already. All right, so I'm just gonna put a thin layer here. Remember, we have to put our rubbing alcohol, but it here, it's still fluid on the inside, but the rubbing alcohol will do the trick. And don't put it on the same spot, don't leave it on one spot, so spread it across like that, right? And then we'll spray it. Keep it really long. No, very hot. Up again. Right, leave it. All right, so in the meantime, we'll just focus on this one a bit. See that. All right, so it's stuck up there. Now, if it's too hot and you pour, then this can melt, and you don't want that. So you want to make sure your temperature really nice. Now, if it melts, it could look like a design because it can look kind of variegated. That's the effect you want, then it's quite okay. But if you don't want that and you just want a nice crisp look, then you need to have your temperature, good. All right, so that it wouldn't be too much. If, however, when you're doing it, remember I told you you're not to put your soap in your freezer because you don't want it to be sweating and so on. So you can make this overnight and then use it next morning. So like if you make all your embeds, these are what you call embeds. Like the paper is an embed because it's something you're embedding into the soup. This soap is an embed because you're embedding this into soup as well, and so on, and you will see how it looks. So if that's what you want to do, then you make those before, and if you have it for like 24 hours before, it will stay up better and nice, keep it nice and cool. All right, unlike ours that's warm and we're rushing through. All right, so now in this state, we kind of more at risk of having variegation. But as I said, don't pour it around and not leave it in one spot. Okay? Just put it there. And now let's just check the green one. Ooh, green one, well.
Ms. Cummins, persons are asking questions in the chat. Where can I get the soap base to buy?
Ms. Mohammed, remember I told them before, unless it's new people who come in, I told them before I will send them the list of
Alright.
ingredients, the list of equipment, and the list of suppliers with numbers. Remember I said this before?
All right, miss. So you'll email me the information and I will
Yes,
let you
I
know.
will.
All
And I
right.
told them I'll send it right after class,
All right.
which I will. Okay. Okay, so put some water in the pot there for me, please. So we're going to quick cool this. And in the meantime, I will just add some red into this one. And put it there. Just give it a little stir from the please. Thank you. And I'll add some red into here. Well, it will come out pink. Oops, that's too much. All right, and then I'm going to pour it on here. Right. I'm gonna pour this here. Right. All right. Okay. So we're just quick cooling this. All right, so we can pour this now. Let's see what we can. Okay, so there's just a thin layer formed there. I just want to pour it on top. All right, that's that. All right, so people want to this and go with that plastic one. All right. Now we're gonna I'm just gonna heat this up. Just gonna add a little more red to this. Let's see if I have a stronger red. Yeah. This is a stronger red. Tiny bit to make it just a little more red. It's difficult to get once you're using the white, it's difficult to get what you're looking for if you want red. Red will more be pink if you're using that white soap base. If you're using the clear soap base, then you'll readily get your colors. Right? Remember, I explained that to you and I actually demonstrated it to you. So I can take this out. Yeah, I need to send it out. What I'll do is put this on here. And we'll put these in the freezer. Right, so we put these in the freezer to set up. I'm finished, we'll just put this in up here. One. Oh. Just gonna give this a quick stir. And then, now what you would notice is that when your soup is cooling, it gets thicker and thicker as it cools. So you have it fluid here. And it will continue to thicken as it cools. So what you can do is use it when it reaches certain thickness to decorate your tree. And that's what we're going to do here now. So we're just letting it cool gradually until we find it thick enough to decorate our tree. Okay, I should put it on the here. Keep trees are more than enough. I would just give it a test and see. Okay, yes, cooling up now. So we just decorating. So if you don't have any of these are called pipettes. If you don't have pipettes, you can just use a skewer and decorate your tree. Hardening up quickly on me again. So we'll move fast. Oops, that's a big one. Bottom part can take bigger ones, but you don't want it too big. Oh. Oh. Let's see. So then we can drizzle. You can kind of do like a ribbon effect. If you want. So you just leave this to set up. Or you can use white. Don't have any more white. And so you can just use it like that and decorate your tree. You can do a kind of ribbon effect if you like that. Or you can just do balls like this. All right, bring those out now, please. Just get this stuff off of this. We should be ready now. Silicon ready? Okay. Not sure this one. Yeah? Feeling more? Okay, now feeling good. Feeling good. Can you finish it? Leave that. Now, no more shifts there. Okay, so here we go. So this is our tree. And this is what you call layering. Right? You should a clear coat on the top there. The tree is inside here. And you put any colors you want. Then do it like that. So this is one fusion. And oops, killed it. And this here is the one with the kitchen, the napkin. Seeing that? So if you allowed a napkin would have been probably more suited, right? Like a brighter color, you know. This napkin is kind of pastel-y. It's really a pale color. So you notice. So a brighter color would have been better for it. for this. And as I told you, the Merry Christmas had smudged already because it's ink, so it didn't stay. And this one is still very warm, so you're going to put it back in your refrigerator. Right, so I just press it there. And these here now, this one is still warm too. I think everything could go back in the freezer. Just put them in a section by themselves and let us proceed. All right, so let us pause here for questions. Anybody have questions from what we've seen so far? Any questions, anybody? You have a question?
Didn't you use a viewing pen?
No, I use a marker.
Okay.
Question. No, I'm excited to try. Okay, that's excellent. I'm happy that you are. Maybe I should go in the chat and see, look for your questions. Okay, how long should you wait before using the soap? Okay, well, with melt and pour soap, as soon as it's cool, it's ready to use. But if you leave it for a little 24 hours or so, it will be a harder bar of soup. Right, but remember, it will also sweat, and especially if rain is falling. Now, if you make it on a nice hot day, then it will stay longer. But all you have to do is like how we take that out there. Once it's cool, completely cool, because if it's warm, then it will sweat, you know, you'll have condensation taking place. So that's why I put it back in the deep freeze, because I want to show you how you can package it as well for if you want to gift it to someone, or if you want to probably carry to the office and sell it to your co-workers or something, you know. So I'll show you how to package your soaps as well. As we go along. So that's why I put it back in your freezer so that inside, remember all the layers inside. What happens to these things is that they cool from the outside in, so the inside tend to be still warm and sometimes fluid, as you would have heard me speak when I was going to put another layer on top. The thin layer that form on top would be solid, but right underneath it would be fluid. So you have to be careful. Just watch it and see how things are going. All right. How long do we put the trays into the microwave? Okay, so I would say now microwaves are not all equal. All right, so you might have a nice big Panasonic microwave. And in that case, you can put like half pound of soap base in it, and in 60 seconds, all completely melted. But then you might have a microwave like mine, and you could put quarter of that in it, and in 60 seconds, it still have unmelted, right? So what you have to do, I would recommend you put like 30 or 40-second pulsing, right? Pulsing for like 30, 40 seconds, because you don't really want to cook your soup. That's not what you want, because what you'll be doing is taking away all your nice ingredients from there. You're going to be killing your castor oil and you know, taking away. And if you put, and don't put your fragrance in before you put your soup in there. Your fragrance was to be the last thing you add, you know, just how I did it. Although I had fragrance and put it back in there before. So your fragrance is the last thing you want to add. You can put your castor oil and you can put your thing, and you just pulse it. If you see when it finish, it still have a little bit, give it a stir. Sometimes just the heat from around the glass, like this one, it can look solid here, but this is still very warm. All right, so if I show you, like, you see right inside here, you see how it's fluid inside, you see that? That's what I mean, but you see it have a skin on top here, that I could have bent it down for you to see all the time. And now that I'm poking it, you see how fluid it is? See? So that's what I was talking about, all right? So just do it like pulse it a few seconds and give it a stir. And sometimes just the stirring can dissolve the rest rather than putting it back in the microwave. But if it's a lot and you're seeing a big chunk or so, then you can put it back in the microwave for maybe 20 seconds or 10 seconds the next time. Does that answer your question? Anybody else?
Miss, I asked the question in the chat.
I read. see what you have in the chat here now. Big, chat. Can someone reshare? Okay, you wanted the link. Did you get the link? Did
Miss
Miss
Now, that
Martin-
one is the one you mentioned fragrance and essential oils. Is there a major difference between using either of them?
Oh, yes, there's a huge difference between fragrance oil and essential oil. Fragrance oil is a synthetic oil. You know, like anything you can think about, sometimes you can create. That's what man do. And that's how we make all kinds. But essential oils are made from natural things. Essential oils are made from like petals. So if you want to make a nice, strong rose oil, you need thousands, millions of rose petals, and you make essential oils for that. Leaves, you can get essential oil from leaves, bark of the tree. You have cinnamon and so on, those are bark, and you get essential oils from those. So essential oils are from natural things. You have jasmine flowers, you get essential oil from that. Lavender buds, you get essential oil from that. So those are natural things. And those cannot take heat. They cannot stand up to heat at all. All right. So if you're going to be using essential oil, you have to make sure your soap comes down really warm. All right. Now, according to where you buy these, different soap base also behave differently. Some soap base set up really fast, and some will be fluid for a longer period of time. So you just have to monitor it. And once you're working with the product for a while, then you will see how it works, and you will be to it. The good thing about it is that if you, as you would have observed, if you melt it and you start to work with it and it freeze up quickly, you can always put it back in the microwave for a few seconds and get it fluid again and work with it. All right. However, the synthetic oil, which is the fragrance oil, comes in thousands and thousands of fragrance. Essential oil only have hundreds of fragrances, but fragrance oil have thousands and thousands of scents and beautiful scents, and they can stand up to a lot more heat, so that 150 degrees wouldn't even interfere with it. 160 degrees wouldn't interfere with it. All right, but you want to keep it as low as possible, manageable. The same way how you're gonna cool it enough to pour and so on, you want to have it more manageable. Any other questions, or can we move on now? And make soup.
Miss, I wanted to ask a question.
Yes, Maya?
Now, I am more of a hands-on person. Like, so for persons who are not working, let's say for next class, is it possible to like make the product with you while you turn on your video?
course,
We can turn it on.
certainly. All right, so, but today alone is really going to be, see, that's kind of difficult under these conditions. I would say sure, yes, but it's difficult because, but I can tell you. Okay, so today alone, we're doing veg and core soups. On Tuesday next week, please go, we're going to make actually soup from scratch. So if you want to make the soup with me next week, Tuesday, please God, you need to get ingredients like coconut oil, olive oil, let's see, something easy to get, sweet almond oil, that sort of thing. And you need to get lye crystals, and you need to get distilled water, which is the same as battery water. And you need to get those ingredients. And because we're going to make hot processed soup and cold processed soup next week, please. All right, that is actually making your own soup from scratch. All right. So, and if you want to make the hot processed soup, then you can, if you have a slow cooker, you can use that. Or if you have a nice big pot that you want to assign to craft, you can use that as well, so that you can use your stove top, or you can use oven, or you can use a slow cooker. I'll be using a slow cooker to demonstrate. Does that answer your question? Send this on list. Sure. Sure, I'll send it with everything else. All right, I just didn't formulate a recipe as yet. So it will take a little longer for me to send all those things, but that's quite okay. All right. I'll try to do things, but change ingredients around. Maybe I'll probably use like some cooking and some coconut oil and so, and any of you have shea butter at home, maybe use some shea butter. Something that you more likely than not have, so that it will be easier for you. All right? So I'll do that. Any other questions? Are we good?
Yeah, miss, the soap base you use, you make the soap base or we could buy a soap base?
No, you buy a soap base. I don't make soap base unless, you see, when I used to sell products, I used to make my own soap base. But I don't sell products. I have stopped selling products for years now because to me, selling products is like competing with my students because a lot of my students go into business. I have students who have huge businesses selling soap and candles, bath and body products because I teach those items. And excuse me. Yeah. And sorry about that. And it felt like competing with my students and it was no good feeling. So I stopped altogether and I just teach. Right?
Which part's on the soap base, man?
The soap base are all from Miss Ali, the crafter's choice. As I said, all my ingredients, everything, including the oils I'm going to make my soap with and all of those things. Well, some oils I buy from the supermarket and some oils I get from her. So like the sweet almond oil and so I buy from her when I'm using like rice bran oil and sweet almond oil and palm oil. And so I buy them from her. But your supermarket supplies coconut oil and they also supplies like avocado oil. You can get it in some supermarkets. You can get it in Price Smart if you want, in bigger quantities if you want, and so on. Right?
Which one is it the practice choice was located, man?
The Crafter's Choice is on Mingo Road in Tunapuna. So if you went into Tunapuna, right on the main road junction there, Tunapuna Road, you get a taxi right there and they take you straight in front by her. But I'll send you numbers, so it's best to call first, let her know you're coming, or you can place an order for what you want. So you can order a pound or 2 pounds or so base, whatever you want. Yeah.
So where's the price was for the a pound soap base?
But you will have to, when you call, she will tell you because I buy a lot so that I would get a better price from her. Because I'm going to be using a lot with you all. So I buy. And I have been dealing with her for many, 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 many years. So she facilitates community development. She's a big fan of community development. All right. So anything else?
Yeah, miss, with homemade soap base, does it have any particular chemical that could cause skin irritants to certain people that we had to look out for?
Well, simple things like oils could cause skin irritants. Let's say you're a person who have an allergy for nuts. You're allergic to nuts and nut product. And you decide to use something like shea butter. That would irritate you, So doesn't matter whether it's natural or whether it's synthetic. Some people are sensitive to different things, and you would have to know yourself and then treat the things differently. Right? So like coconut oil would affect you if you are a person who cannot handle nuts. All right, so you have to use other things instead. Okay? So there'll be lots of things that can irritate you, and especially with essential oils. Essential oils can irritate a lot of people. Some of them are very, very, very strong. And even though they come diluted already because they're so strong, because these things are just extracted, sometimes coal extraction. And imagine taking cinnamon from a bark and extracting that. That will be harsh. A cinnamon essential oil can remove paint from surface. So think what it will do to your skin if you use it like that. You understand? So yeah, you can have real issues by using essential oils and stuff like that, natural ingredients. So it's not just sensitive things that it's not just artificial things that affect people. Natural things can affect us as well. So you just have to look it up
sorry.
and you can.
You said, Mrs. said it's the lye crystals. Will you get it by the crafters too, or
Yes,
and
the
I have it.
Crafter's Choice will have lye crystal as well. And you can also get that in the supermarket. Although I'm not finding that in many supermarkets these days. Sometimes you can get it in the hardware as well. But you want the crystal, you don't want the liquid lye. No, that is something that, well, now rain is falling and you might have moss around your house and you might want to know, how come we're using this dangerous product? No soap is made without it. All right. But when you have a good, well-balanced recipe and you make it, what you will find is that there's absolutely no lye in your product when you finish. If, however, your recipe is questionable, then you can have real serious issues. But when we reach that, we will deal with that. Today is just melting for, which is safe and fun. All right. Any
Hey,
questions about what we did today? Yes, India.
Miss Turmeric soup, can we still use the melt and pour to make that?
And add turmeric to it, sure. All right, you can use turmeric as your color in your melt and pour, or things like ruku, that sort of stuff, natural things, if that's what you get into. Yes, you can put
Yes.
all of that into your melt and pour soup. All right.
Okay, miss, thank you.
No problem at all. You can use things like clay in your melt and pour soup. You can use things like oats. So let's say you have, the days are hot, even though we're having some rain, the days are hot. Let's say you have a heat rash. You can just make up a soup with some oats in it, and that keeps you nice and cool, you know, that sort of stuff. All right, so let's continue. Oh, you can take those out of the refrigerator. No. All right, so let's continue with another design. So this here is a snowflake mold. All right, you notice there are different snowflakes. There's 3 different patterns of snowflake. So we're going to make snowflake. I hear you. Yeah. All right, so you would have already seen these. So I want to just put them away and put some cling wrap on that. All right, so that's all I'm going to do here with these, because they're frozen now and they're going to start to sweat. So I just want to cover them down until I'm ready to use them. I don't want them to sweat. I'm just going to take something up here. All right, so just some cling wrap, and I'm going to put on them so that you wouldn't start to sweat on me. Okay? All right. All right, we're going to go. Let me get the blue. We do blue snowflakes. All right. Everything can't just be Christmas red and green and white. All right. So I'm going to use the clear soap base. I'll put that back in the microwave. I'll put the blue in the plastic cup. And then I'll pour the soup in it. So again, if you have questions, just hold your questions until the next question and answer segment. Ms. Mohammed, are you speaking to me?
No, Miss
Allison?
Allison Maureen is speaking to you.
Miss Allison, I'm not hearing you. I know somebody is saying something, but I couldn't hear a word of what you said.
I myself won't hear her. Miss Maureen, can you put it on the chat? Thank you.
All right, so I'm just putting a tad of this now. Let me get this down first. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, there we go. All right. That should be in there now. Right, so I'm just putting a tad of blue. And I'm going to pour some clear into it. I'm gonna pour. Make sure it's not holding on properly. Oh, okay. So I'm just pouring some of this in here. Gonna mix it. So before I pour this, I'll just use a little skin safe glitter to make it iridescent. So I just put it just a tad. Okay. And then I'm going to pour the blue. You see it? Just a little bit. Blue. Just to line the bottom. Using the lining. All right. We're leaving it right here. I don't want to move it. All right, I'll put another one. Let's see, let's do this one here. This one, no glitter in this one. I'm just using just a blue. Just a tiny bit. Just to line the surface. Tiny bit on this end here. Okay, yeah, right. All right, so we finished with that. And I'll just move this away. To move it. We can get to raise and top of it. To move it, but so I moved that away there, and I'm going to go back to white. Maybe the big pirates. The big one that had the white.
Big one with white?
Oh, it's red. Yeah, it's. Oh. I'll use this one. Because I need something that's pink. Just white. So your molds are flexible. You can do many different things with your molds. And that is what you will be seeing now, how flexible the molds are. These snowflakes. Melt that down. I didn't put any castor oil in it just yet. Even if you didn't have castor oil, your soap will still. Remember I was telling you about different types of suds or soapiness, suds, bubbles. Sometimes you have nice dense. Take for example your dishwashing liquid. If you use squeezy, for example, if you use squeezy, you get a nice, thick, dense soapiness with squeezy, right? Or quicks, nice. So that when you wash your wares with those, you will find that your grease cuts. But sometimes you buy those other ones and you get kind of sparse suds. All right, and that is what will make the difference. So if you use this soap base as is, you will get that sparse suds, it'll be nice and soapy, and you'll bathe and be normal and good. But if you add a little bit of castor oil, just a tiny bit of castor oil, then you get that dense soapiness, you know. So it's up to you what you prefer. Some people, if you made it with rainwater, that soapiness could be a disaster because you need a lot of water to rinse it off your skin. But if you bathe with normal water, then you're all good. So if you're bathing with rainwater, then you might want to just use the soap base like that without the thing. And if you're going to put oil in your product, and some people tend to want to moisturize thing. And same way how you say you might want to add turmeric to your soap, you might choose to want to put another oil in your soap, which I don't recommend. Soap base is not something you can put fresh things in, and it's not something you want to put oil in. But if you added a tiny bit of oil, it wouldn't kill it. It will make it. So let's say you figure you have really dry skin and you wanted to add a little bit of oil. Same way you add castor oil. Castor oil is very moisturizing, so you can use the castor oil just a drop or two, according to how much soap you are making. You can use it. All right. But if not, and you wanted to add a little like sweet almond oil or so, you just reduce a bit, please. Thank you. All right. If you wanted to add a little sweet almond oil also, you can put a few drops in it as well. But if you find when you take it out of the mold, your soap is not sudsing as well, put it on a soap up or wash rag and bathe with it. And after the first use, you will find that it will be normal again. All right. So let's continue. Okay, so here's our white soap base, and it's pretty hot, right? So let's see what we want to do here. So you will find I'm using fragrance oil today because you see steam coming off of this is very, very hot. So I'm not even going to try to use it right now. Just cool it off. Could you bring the pot with water? Please, thank you. This is really too hot. My microwave is a turn button. It's not a press one that you can time and stuff. So that's why I'm having a little challenge with this. And my assistant not familiar with this microwave, so I was even double whammy trouble there. So this is not to happen home by you, right? You don't want to cook your soup. All right, try not to let it get too hot like this. Right. So I have to cool it down before I can add any fragrance or anything to it. Can you just bring a little more water so I can raise the height here? Just bring it in something else. Thank you so much. I just raised the height so we can get some more of the mud in water. So it will move faster. Just put it on this side. Put it on this side here. Thanks. For the rest, for the rest. Cool, stop it. Right. Thank you so much. You don't want any water in your soup. So when you're ready to, if this happens to you and you're cooling down, when you take out the mug, you want to dry the mug before you try to pour because you don't want any water in your soup, right? So just put this way. I want to ruin my design. What it will ruin my design. So realize there are three functions for your rubbing alcohol. The first function of your rubbing alcohol is to disperse bubbles. So if when you finish pour your soap, you see bubbles on top, just one squirt, but disperse the bubbles. It will get rid of it. All right, the next thing is is to adhere your layers together. All right, so to adhere your layers, you want to use the rubbing alcohol. Now, if it is, your layer is so solid, so like this here, if this is really solid and it doesn't have any warmth, like this still is warm, but let's say I put this, I forgot about it, and then I went and so on, then I have to come back now, then I'll have to scar it, as well as use the rubbing alcohol to get the layers still here in that case, because you don't want to, when you're making your soup, as soon as you're going to use your soup the first time, the soup separating on you. You don't want that, right? Still back. Here, so you know that situation. It's just like if you're building, so let's say you wanted to do an extension in your home and you want to add a room and you have a wall there already. The contractor cannot just go and add concrete on concrete. It wouldn't hold together. He will have to chisel and create friction and stuff to get the concrete to fit to get into the other concrete so that they will hold together. It's the same thing you're really doing here in essence with the soup and the rubbing alcohol. See how it's feeling now. Can I get the blocks of ice? Just open them from there. Take the small string. Yeah. 2 blocks of ice. That should do the trick. You just quick cooling this. All right, so since that is taking a while, I'll just give it a little scarring. So I'm just gonna give it a little scarring here. To do this, because this has gotten really solid now. It's almost completely cool. Just a little thing. And so when I pour, my soup will be able to hold. And so cannot be too cold either, because then it wouldn't hold as well. All right, so I'm gonna add some fragrance to this. I can do it like this, but I suggest you do it bit at a time until you get the hang of it. When you get the hang of it, you know exactly how much you want to put. And how much you don't want to put, right? So I'm just gonna pour this now. Right? Just you see any bubbles right on top there, just a little bit, just a little squirt, and that's the end of that. So I'll just push this aside. And we're going to make a log soup now. Right? A log soup will take a little bit, but see how we look. Yeah. Like here. All right. So this is a 1 pound soup noodle. And we're gonna do a log soup. So we'll start off by, we have some clear still. Can I get that, please? And put some green in there. No, it's just dark green. Just use this green. So I'll just put some green in this. We have some clear here. I'll just put some green in it. Do you realize you're only using a little bit of your color? Especially if you're using a white clear soup base. And your color will last for a long time. Oh, it's my fault. I put it on high. You didn't realize it's on high. I put it on high because I wanted that white to melt quick. I'll put one spin and I'll put it back on medium. That's why it got so hot. So I didn't realize it was on. Okay. Yes, thanks. Mama wanted to ask you to do that. Bring that quick in. Okay, I can do that. Come on. That should be more than it. Okay. All right, so here we are. And it's too hot already. Let's put it back on medium. You have any spatulas to me? You wash spatulas? Okay, thanks. Make sure I have some clean ones. This is a beautiful green, isn't it? Look at it. And you see how the mica makes it nice and shimmery, unlike the pigment. So now you're seeing the difference between the effect of the mica. Let me show you that. Right? So you're seeing the mica has that pearlized effect, and the pigment just have that flat effect. So now you understand the difference between the two, right? So. Can I get back the pot with some water, please? Can I get back the pot with some water? All right, so now I'm just gonna tilt this. I'm just tilting it right on here to do the pour. I'm just gonna be tilting it. One should shine right there. Great. One drop of pasta oil in it. If I can find where I put it down. Too much of things sometimes. One drop. Oh, so I can pour this now. Use this. I'm just gonna pour this in here. What I'm going to do next, you all might be mad at me, is to cut up all the soaps that you made before. I'm gonna grate that, all right? I'm gonna grate all the soap we did before. My assistant is boiling. Oh no. Want to take a picture? Yes. That's a good idea. So we take a picture of them before, and I'll show you how to package them before as well. You could take this out. Actually, she'll take a here. More here. Without this back off. So she's going to take some pictures. Okay, you can come right on top. You don't want to get them on the top here. Get on top. Right. All right, so we have pictures of our soups that we made before. And let me show you now how you can package them for gifting. So there's something called an organza bag. It's this little nylon bag, and it comes with ribbon in it like this. So if you want, you can just we'll stack a little. I'm gonna take the towel to dry my hands. Clean my hands again. Oops. Now let's stop. All right. Good. Okay. All right. Right. Is it in here? So if you have a soap like this, you can just put it in an organza bag. It's hitting you, it's hitting her that we go in and cut down all the soup. All right, but you make bag soup, don't worry, okay? Or you can put a soup in a shrink wrap bag or plastic bag. If it's using a shrink wrap bag, you can shrink wrap it if you want. You can just put it in a bag like this. And you can give it a nice wrap. And present your soup like this. Right? Like so. If you want to sell your soup, so let's say you wanted to sell your soup, you can present it like this. And you have a call card, because if you're selling your soup, then you want your clientele, your customer, potential customer, to know where you are and at least your number, and so that if they wanted to repeat the order or they wanted more of your products, that they can reach you and get it. So you can just take your call card and put it in the back of your soup. One side of your call card can have your information, and the other side of your call card can have your ingredient listing. And then you can just put it there. This call card is a bit long. Can I get a silver scissor? I have two scissors. Okay, here's one. See, this one is a bit long for this package. You can just put the call card with the ingredients listing behind you there, and then you wrap. And you see how the ribbon is matching your soup, and make it look aesthetically appealing to your customers. And then you make your soup look nice and make it smell good and make it, you test it for yourself and see that it's working as you want it to work. And you give your customer value for their money, just like you would like value for your money. So don't cheat in any way, don't minge in the important areas and so on, but just give them good value for their money. So you want them to come back. Remember, in this kind of business, repeat business is important, right, for success. So you want customers to be able to come back. So you can do it like this, and the back can have your call card with your information on it, and you can have your ingredient listing in the back of it as well. And you just present this to them like this. Right? So there's that. And there's the organza weave. And so now, any questions? Let's have a question in segment again. So you don't. Now, I hope you're writing down your questions. And assume. Any questions? Or we can just move on. Let me know.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi, Ms. Giselle. How are you?
I'm fine. Quick question. So if as we are now starting, and we're not obviously as expert as you and could feel the temperature of the soap, could you tell me what temperature, if you have a thermometer, what temperature is the best time to add your fragrance and your color, please? Thank you.
All right. So if you're using fragrance oils, if you're at 130, 135 is all good. But if you're using essential oil, you definitely want it to come down to like 120 or below. All right. If it's at 120 and it's still fluid, below is getting hard on you, then you want to use that 120, 121. That's what the stuff for your essential oil. All right. But your fragrance oil is really not a challenge too much. All right. So I hope that answers your questions. Anybody else? So now I'm going to do the greeting. Ms. Keaton wants to string me up here for the greeting of the soup. Can I get the pot? Dry the pot and bring it from here. Right. Yeah, dry the pot and bring it so I can just greet up the soup. All right, so we're gonna make a log soup. Thank you. And I agree. The ones we did earlier. Rita, questionable. You could look in there. Let's see Rita, applicant, please. Yeah, this is Rita. Yeah. Right. Yes. They throw that to me one time. When things are not functional. Haven't one day. And make some, you choose, you can make some plain color soaps. All right, I'll keep that one. I wouldn't kill her all in one. I keep it that. It could just be green. I want to be red. Do we have some red?
Yes, I'm right here.
It could get a spoon.
And
Oh, let's have the, and let's have the napkin in it, but that's all right. That's why you use that napkin because it could dissolve. No, don't use the spoon and the soup. I want to grate somebody's soup. Yeah, okay. This we can, in that, I should take. No, don't do that. Oh, there are all kinds of fragrance oils. There are fruity scents, there are citrus scents, there are essential oils as well too. There are all kinds of different scents, but they have some interesting names, like some sexy soap names, right? So like there's sex on the beach and all different kinds of things that you might. Can you drop the camera? Oh, sorry. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm just being great, eh? So see, I'm greeting. The thing right here still on the side, just as I left it, I didn't do anything in front. So I just been greeting the soups we made earlier. Now it's a little red in there. So now what have we done? Because for that, then actually you should put it in a small mug so I can use the big mug. All right, here we are. So we're gonna just this very good. All right. So I'm going to just take the rubbing alcohol and just give this a scoot. But before I do that, let me just put some soap to melt. All right, this could go in the, okay, this just moving this across a bit. This is setting up nicely right there, and that's it. And let me just cut on this. So this feeling wet right now as it is without anything, without making any soup as yet, because as I said, it's raining here. It's been raining from beginning and it's still raining now. Right? So the soup itself is gotten wet. Right, so I just put this in the microwave. That's deleting. Okay. So I'm going to now let it rubbing alcohol and give this a little squirt. Need the soup to go all through it. So underneath there is still in between, what you see everything, but so in here is still it's still very warm. So underneath inside here is very soft. So I'm going to pat this in here now. I don't have a big piece on here. All right. Now I'm leaving it still on the side. Okay. Leave it there. Super. Just excuse me 1 second. It just throws in the still. I long wanted an opportunity to wash my hands. Phew, I got the opportunity to wash my hands. I don't like stuff on my hands. Sorry about that. Right? So let's just check this. Just see how we do him. Thank you. So we still have 2 little chunks in here, seeing that? 2 little chunks in there. So when you reach like that, if you feel that it has enough heat in the mug to melt that little chunks, then you can just give it a good stir and it will melt. If not, and you find the chunks are too big, you just put it in the microwave for a few seconds. All right, I am not putting it back. I will leave it like that. Okay. So I'm just gonna give this a squish again. Okay. And I'm gonna fix my stove. 1 drop, 2 drops, that's the oil in this amount. Right. And then I'm going to put big ones. Cucumber melon. Because it's looking kind of melony to me. That's why. And going to pour. I want to pour it to get it all inside. See, a chunk of the food there. So you want that. What? Just give this a little. Back. So then we leave that to set up. Give it a squidge. And we leave it to set up. And we go again. 1, We could leave this in one of the bags so it could stay dry. Now, if however, your soap get wet, like how you see, and this is wet. Now, this is wet, not necessarily from the rain alone, but because it was in the freezer. Remember? So when you take something out of the freezer, what happens is it automatically is wet because condensation takes place. Right? So that's why the soap will be wet. All right. So in that case, you just give it a dry and then you wrap it so that you don't have that situation. Hope you are very simple. All right. And I'm gonna see about, I'm gonna use some soup. I'm putting it right there. So that add some of this to it. I have some red here from before. This is white base, and you know, I'm adding some clear to it. And go to melt them down. Add this here. Or each one. That's why I use the measuring spoon. All right. All right, let's see if we're ready here. Yes, I think we're ready here. So here are your snowflakes. See the iridescent one. You see how the glitter is showing up nicely there. Right, and this is snowflakes, and this is the other one. So you have two snowflakes. Right. Thank you. Right, so she still have soap. She don't have to cry for me there, right? This is how they are on this side. Very nice. Thank you so much. You all see it with my assistant as well, because she was ready to cry there on me, you know. I get so frightened. All right, so I'm gonna just turn this, you know. I'm gonna see. This looks better. Ready to eat. All right, so we're gonna just give this a pour here now. Got there already. And if you're not sure about whether it could hold, you just put a little, use this skewer and put some holes. If you're not sure, if you feel it too set up, or anything and you're not sure, just prevention is better than cure, you know, that's what they say. So just put a few holes and then make yourself ready for your next hole. Right? Too much. Alright, so walnut dissolve, yes? But I want to pour. To pour here. Hmm. Alright, so put this in here. I'm gonna pick some white. Just get some white quickly. Let's get the edge, so sliding. To get some sugar, this again. Got some. Need some. Butter. So fluid. So fluid, so fluid. Application. Mhm. Great. Put this in here, and as well. Right. Yeah. You can also want the fragrance, right? Put some. It's on the top. Put some of this one. Usually for not saying one. Thanks. All right, we're almost there. That one almost ready. So I'll pour the white in the pink and it will become like a swirl. So because I'm gonna use the heat and make it swirl. So you get a different effect. As soon as it's done. Just trying to get this one to get solid a bit. Or it will be still soft inside.
Hi, pleasant good evening, miss. Sorry for
Hey,
disturbing
Miss
you.
Lloyd, hi.
I just joined the class, but I was in the email and I saw the class was from 1 to 4. So I want to know what really, and then I see in 10 to 1. I'm not sure if the time change or what going on.
Miss Mohammed, you want to take that one? Miss Mohammed, are you with us? Okay, yes. So
Hi,
the
good morning. Yes, an email was sent to everyone. The time is 10 to 1. There was an error, 1 to 4. So the time is 10 to 1.
Okay, thank you. So would I be able to get all the stuff I missed?
yes, you will, because the video, Miss said the video will be sent to you all. So you will.
Thank you very much.
You're most welcome, dear heart. So that one inside. And then you will get some notes as well. So don't panic, it's all good. All right, so I just want to add some, get rid of the bubbles first. You all seen that? All right, so I'm just gonna give it one squirt. You see, don't need more than one. And then I'm going to add some of this. And then we put it in the freezer to set up. That's me. Now remember, it must be skin safe. See how beautiful it looks? Right. Not a lot. Just a bit. I'm giving you soup. Don't worry, I'm giving you soup. Right? So we're just gonna put this. See, just not freezer. You'll have to go gingerly with it. Just do this. Okay. Leave that little red end out. Yeah, right. So don't have it gingerly. Want me to go or no? Thank you. Okay. Red. Okay. So, we still have people coming on. Your next question and answer segment. So that one is called a confetti soup. So any questions? While we wait, take the setup. No questions? We all good? You're all still basking in the snowflakes.
Miss, what is the powder substance you throw to the end before you put it in the fridge?
Oh, that is skin safe glitter. You came in late. You came in after,
No, I didn't. But rain is
but you
falling
don't
my way as
remember in
well,
the
and
front, in
video
the
is shaking a
beginning,
bit.
when I showed you the ingredients we're gonna be using today. This is one of the ingredients I showed you, 4 of these skin safe glitter. So that's what I poured. This one is what I used here just now.
Okay,
Just as
miss.
a copy.
The
Mhm.
video was taking a bit, and I was getting a little trouble to come in when the
Or with the
class now
rain and
started. Yes,
okay.
so I didn't hear what it is you said it was. So
Yes.
okay,
Yeah,
thanks.
that's skin safe glitter. But
Okay.
okay.
I know you say we will get the ingredients, so I will see what
Yes.
it is.
So
Yeah.
you're not worried. That actually is the same thing that was on top of this. You remember? I showed you this. See a little bit.
Yeah, I seen it.
Yeah, good. Just a little bit. So tell me what you all think of the session.
I am enjoying it. I think it's
We're
very
enjoying it. Thank you,
informative.
Maya.
It's very informative.
Great
Very
session. Thank you.
informative.
Thank
I
you.
am not disappointed.
Okay, great. I'm glad to know.
Miss as well as
Thank you.
that course as well, because I wasn't expecting hot process and cold process as well. So that's excellent.
Yes, that's
Oh,
Tuesday.
that's-
Please God. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
All with a nice festive Christmas theme, but the same thing. But it's usable, practical stuff. So you have fun sessions. These things you can do with your children, for those of you who have children. And these things make nice, fun gifts and, practical gifts, but aesthetically appealing. You don't know what somebody's bathroom, if you want to use a Christmas theme in your bathroom, you make a Christmas theme soap. You put a set of Christmas soaps in a dish and you put it in your bathroom there. And you can decorate it any which way you want. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you. Right. Thanks so much. I'm glad you're all having a good time. All right. So that gives me a lot of encouragement. Right. And you saw how you can decorate your soaps, how you can parcel them out. You can get those little plastic bags, not expensive. And even the organza bag, you just, once you know what size, thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks, all of you. Thank you. All right, so once you know what size mold you're going to be working with, then you can get the organzas bags to the size you want. I can show you that there are different sizes organza bags. The one I show you is not the only one. So they start from as tiny as this. You can get little ones like these. And then you can get like what I showed you. And then you can get bigger. Right? So they're all different ones. And if you notice, it looks like the mica iridescent already. And it's just a matter of putting your soap in it and pulling it. And you've set. If you want, you can put your card in this one as well too. So you put your soap facing one side and you put your card in the other, the front facing the other side. And it's really there. Easy because you want your telephone number for sure to be available so that you can get repeat business. All right, even if it's a gift, because you don't know, you might give somebody a gift today and tomorrow, please God, they're really happy with it and they want to buy some from you. That's a good way to get clients if you choose to sell afterwards, because you might want to start off that way, but you might end up getting so many people requests that you can take orders and sell some and make back your raw materials money. All right, that is always a good idea. Even if you're working, you can have this as a sideline. You know how many sidelines became a huge business for them? So it's another way of earning income. And earning income is not just having a business alone, but the fact that you don't have to buy soap anymore is earning income. You don't have to give Pennywise your money after this. All right, seeing that you're going to be doing hot process and cold process. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you enjoyed it so much. Thank you. And so that you no longer have to spend that money buying toiletries, those other things. You can just buy your other toiletries and stuff, but you don't have to deal with soap anymore. And those of you who go and pay all those expensive prices for candles, and so when you get into candles, you will realize you don't have to go putting yourself in that expense anymore. And plus, you will choose scents that you like, scents that you want for your home, and so on when you're doing your candles and so on. So we have those to look forward to coming up. I am glad you're happy. All right. So any further questions while we're waiting for our soap? We're getting it just now. It will come out. Thank you so much. I'm glad you all enjoy yourselves. Good. Thank you. You see, they say a bad beginning makes a better end. Thank you. All right. Yes. I am so happy that you all are happy. Good. All right. So you all didn't mind that I grated the soap. When you see the soap, you wouldn't mind that I grated that soap either. Even though my assistant wanted to be bubbleized. I tell I'm too small to get licks, okay? Well, when we finish here, we will still be making soup. All right. All right. So let me just, you want to check it now and see? Yeah, just check it. So while we're waiting, I can probably start to make soup. So the people who weren't here, they can see it's as simple as, no, look, you see the top. All right. You didn't see chicken inside there? No, I just want you to put it. All right, so you're making some soups in the meantime while we wait here. Another way you can do is by doing a blend. To do a blend, what you can do is pour 2 different color soaps at the same time. Since I had the apple, very informative. Thank you. And you will see how creative you are too when you start to make those soups. It brings out all your creativity. You know how many of my students say, Miss, I don't have a creative bone in my body, and when they bring their work, you wouldn't believe. So I don't ever believe anybody doesn't have a creative bone in their body. Everybody is creative in their own way. All right? So you all will do brilliant stuff. Okay? So I'll show you all how we can do. Now, when you have a mold like this, some stuff that you can do, like how I did this snowflake. So let's say you wanted to do this Christmas tree and you wanted to decorate it. All you have to do is like, if you want to decorate it green and white or green, white, and red. So all the dots in there, the star, you can put the star in gold, right? So you can just color some soap, preferably clear soap, so you get a nice bright gold. You can put the star in gold there and just put the gold there and let it settle. All right? And then you can do the white and then you put it into the dots. All right, you see all those dots there, which you might see better on this side. You see those dots there. All right, so you can put some white into the dots. All right, and then let it set up. And then once it's nicely well set up, you put your rubbing alcohol and then you pour your green. You know, a green and white with gold would be nice. Christmas tree, you decide. Or everything doesn't have to be Christmas colors, you know. You might decide you're using for Christmas, your theme is blue and pink, or purple and pink, or something. Your theme could be different. And remember, you're not making soap for just Christmas alone. You're making soap for all through the year. So use colors that would suit all through the year as well. All right? So, Gonna do the white now, and I'll show you how to blend. Okay. Add some heat to the white, and I'll show you how to blend. If your shower curtain is hot, you can use a hot mold and make, oh, you can make something that will, you probably have your own theme. And then you could just make your soups to suit your theme that you have in your bathroom. All right? When we say bathroom, because that's where we're going to be using, we say our soups. That's where we use our soups. Other than fixing it and so. Yeah, just need to set down. Carol, can I get a pot with some water, please? See this way. All right, just bring, yeah, bring the water and I'll put it in this mug here and cool it down. Let me get some frequency into this one.
Miss, we're not seeing what you're doing.
So just put it in here. Maybe quite a lot less water in here. And the spatula.
Miss, we're not seeing what you're doing.
You're not? Oh, because I was cooking, I didn't adjust. Okay, there we go. Right? So what I did was melted some red and melted some white. So I have them here. And I'm going to show you how to do a blend. Right? So you get a kind of candy cane effect. Just gonna add some more to it. Some more to sweetly on faster. Oh. Now, when you're doing a blend, the one with the leaves, the one you have to have more control of, you put it in the hand that you are. So if you're right-handed, the batch that you have to have more control of, put it in your right hand. All right, so like this is a small bit of white. This would require more control than this red. All right, so I'll put white in my right hand because I'm right-handed. If you're ambidextrous, then you're good to go. So I'm kind of ambidextrous, kind of right-handed. Right, so just there. So we're gonna have the candy, we're gonna do candy cane now. Use everything here looking like a baby candy cane. Set here. You could do a candy cane stocking, I guess. Right, so we do a candy cane stocking. You have all kinds of options. Yes, soup. And it can be nice and vibrant. All right, so What, oh, I forgot. Could you just change your water, please, with water? Or just want to set up. This one. Maybe I should put a little more in this. I put a little more. That's why it's sweet. That's why the bread stinks so long. But I want a little more white. We put a little more. Just be careful. See how gingerly I'm doing that. Want to hit yourself. Right? You don't want the children to see you doing that anyway. Put it on the cutting board and cut it. All right, no children and grandchildren to see you doing that kind of rock chipping. Dangerous stuff. Right? While we're waiting for the white, I'm gonna keep this one blue now. Emily. All right. So yes, you should be good here. All right. Good here. Good. So let's do. Excuse me, a few seconds. Right, so to blend is just like this, you just take the two and you pour them in together like this. Well, there you go. Let's see which other one. You have another sleigh here. You can blend. All right, should we see that? So you can just a little sweet. All right. When you see it, you will see how nice it is. You just leave it on, just do the spray. Right. And you're good to go. Keep it to set up. There. I really want to wash my hands. And I said before white face. It's good, like stuff on it. Oh Lord, this one, you can see the top set. This is the top one here, right there. All right, so let's just. What you don't see today, you will certainly see it on Tuesday. Please go on. And let's just check this one and see if it's ready. All right, so you'll see a candy cane one on Tuesday. Please go, but you should be able to see this one now. All right, so like this. You just open it up like that, and then you turn it over. thing 4 will be up there. You will see it puckering, you're seeing that on the bottom there, it's coming out. Once the whole thing undo, so will just drop out. Okay, there we go. Getting it ready to drop out. One thing is already. All right, so that's it. It's in it. Now, if you have butter like this adds to, it enhances the look of your bars of soup one time. All right, so let me show you what I mean. I hope inside is set and it don't set me up. Inside could do it a little more setting. See? Let's show you. Oh, all right. Inside that's completely set. So I'll try this other end. But I'll leave it. Oh, this not completely set, as you all would see. So I'll put it back in the freezer. All right. So you see, there wasn't set up, but that's what your soup can look like. See? That's a confetti soup. So I hope you all like it. And it's time for me to let you all go. Thank you. I'm glad you all had fun. Thank you so much. So on Tuesday, please go on. You all will see candy cane ones, all right? So you'll see how you blend tune out, but you can still try it at home. All right, you're most welcome, all of you. Thank you so much. I'm glad you had a good time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so your last opportunity for questions, just put this back in 3 seconds. So your last opportunity for questions. Do you have any questions?
Hi, I do have a question. I wasn't aware that the class had changed the time, and I'm
Okay.
wondering if we will get a recording. Because I
Yes,
know
Ms.
logged on actually.
Ms. Mohammed had said you will get a recording in a couple of
Because I know
days.
logged on, I wasn't aware of it.
Yes, you will in a couple of days. And you'll
Okay, it
also
will send
get
to our
an
email?
email telling you about the products, the ingredients, the equipment, and the suppliers and that sort of stuff. You'll also get an email about that too. So you wouldn't be left out. Don't worry, even though you just
Because
joined.
I'm so impressed with what I've just seen, because I now logged on and I realized there were a few of them in similar situation like myself who wasn't aware that there was a shift in time.
So what exactly did you see? Did you see the snowflake?
What's that?
Did you see the snowflake?
Yes, I did. That's why I'm like so
All right, did you see the
impressed.
embedding?
No, I just saw where it just came out.
Well,
It's
we
like,
did like this, the
oh
embedded
my
one,
gosh.
where we made a Christmas tree and we put
Oh
it
my
into
God,
the
that's so
soup.
beautiful.
So the video will, the recording will show you. Open it and take it out. Just rip the bag if you want to. That's why I like to wash my hands, because I can't stand.
Okay, nice.
Yes, so you have like that.
Oh, absolutely beautiful.
And we made other soap, and that's what we grated to make that last one there.
Mm.
So you will see those as well. All
Mhm,
right, so you will get everything. Don't worry, you won't be left out.
Thank you so much.
But
Greatly
all the
appreciated.
classes are going to be 10 to 1. Okay,
Mhm,
you
mhm.
received an email. You probably didn't notice this as yet, but an email was sent to you letting you know that the time has changed.
Thank you so much. I greatly appreciated. Looking forward to
No
it.
problem at all. You're most welcome. So everybody, have yourself a great afternoon. Thank you all for joining, and hope everybody comes back. Whether you did stuff or you didn't do stuff, come back on Tuesday, God willing. So do have a great evening and an awesome weekend, and see you all soon. Thanks. Glad that you liked it. You enjoyed yourself.
Thank you, Miss.
Take care. Bye-bye.